Please welcome with me very loudly the CEO of SCRT Labs, Zyskind.
All right, hi everyone. I'm Zyskind, founder of SCRT and CEO of SCRT Labs, which is the core development company for SCRT. How many people here know about SCRT? Okay, pretty cool. Almost everyone. How many people feel they have a working, high-level understanding of what SCRT is? Quite a bit less. All right, so that gives me a good opportunity. I won't go too much into detail because I think SCRT is much better explained with the things being built on it. Also, I think that's much more exciting. But at a high level, SCRT is a Cosmos SDK chain. It's actually one of the first Cosmos SDK chains. And alongside Terra, which is a tough topic this week, but alongside Terra, it was the first fully permissionless smart contract chain. So we were the first to implement Cosmos smart contracts alongside Terra. But while Terra, for example, focused on stablecoins and other DeFis, SCRT had a different secret ingredient, if you will, and that is secret contracts. So the idea in SCRT is that all contract executions, everything that happens in smart contracts is completely private. When a user sends a transaction to a smart contract, the inputs are private. When the contract is being evaluated, its state and state changes remain private, encrypted all the time. And the outputs are sent encrypted to the user. This basically means that SCRT Network is not just a smart contract platform, but it's actually the first decentralized computer that allows you to compute over encrypted data. Now, this is already very powerful, and you can do a lot of things on SCRT, but there's one more thing to add on top of that, and that is the idea of programmable privacy. So in SCRT, everything is private by default. Everything is like a black encrypted box by default. But when you're a developer, you may want to reveal certain data, certain things selectively. That's what we call programmable privacy. For example, imagine a voting contract. It's very useful to have the votes encrypted, to have the votes private so people don't know who voted for whom. But at the same time, everyone needs to know who won the elections. So that has to be made public by the developer. So all of that is available in SCRT as a platform. So to give you kind of an idea about SCRT by the numbers, I think that's a good exercise. We have 80 validators right now. That's the maximum. Actually, we started with 50, then 70, now recently 80, and that was filled very quickly. And actually, the network will likely vote on increasing that again because the entry level in terms of stake that you need is quite high. There are about 100,000 delegators staking about 60-something% of the total coins, the SCRT coins, and then there are about 200,000 individual accounts. Now, our estimations is that this number is actually much larger because SCRT, after the hub, after Atom, SCRT has the largest, the most amount of on-ramps and centralized exchange listings, so we expect that there are many, many more holders on those networks. Other than that, SCRT has a vibrant community, a lot of applications. Just this year, these applications have done billions in volume. And we also have a very highly and tightly knit community of, I'd say, about 200,000 people across our channels. But putting like all the technicalities aside and all of the low-level stuff, this is what gets me really exciting. So I've been like obviously ingrained in our ecosystem for who knows how long, and there have been serious teams building for the past year. And they've been building, many of them for more than a year, and many of them are coming now to fruition. And actually, a lot of these applications are kind of converging towards a launch this summer, which is why I think Secret Summer is coming, because when those applications launch and when they compose with each other and interoperate, then I think we're going to see a lot of interesting things. So I'm going to give you a couple of examples. I can't touch everything. One of them is hydrofinance. Hydrofinance, to me, is one of the most exciting examples because it's a new take on AMMs. It's actually taking the AMM model and kind of flipping it on its head. So what is the problem, I think, with AMMs today? This is beyond privacy, just AMMs in general. So AMMs today, I don't think they're sustainable. The model basically is, let's pay money for LPs, let's pay subsidies to LPs enough so that they continue to provide liquidity and they don't move somewhere else. And fees usually don't cut it, so usually you have a governance token which gets printed and given out, and that creates a lot of sell pressure on the ecosystem, and that usually isn't sustainable. And so Hydro, what they came up with is a model where the incentives are being, where the protocol itself actually collects revenue from tokens and from all of the liquidity that it has resting. And they've modeled it in such a way that actually once the protocol reaches critical mass, it actually becomes, the token becomes deflationary, and you don't have to rely just on fees, but you also don't have to rely on printing a lot of tokens. So there's a very complicated white paper on the website. If you want the details, go in and read, but to me, that's a huge game changer. The other aspect that I think is extremely interesting with Hydro is how they use secret network and secret contracts abilities. So all of the assets that are kept in Hydro, all of the assets that are provided as LP, they're going to be staked, or at least some of them are going to be staked. And those staked tokens, imagine your like bonded atom, for example. You can now vote with it through Hydro. Like it could be served as a proxy for voting. But Secret Network has privacy in their contracts. So what this actually achieves, it actually means that by extension, anyone who uses Hydro can privately vote on any Cosmos chain proposal, which I think is huge. The other aspect which is extremely important is the fact that all AMMs on Secret are MEV and front-running resistant. This isn't unique to Hydro. There are other DeFi projects making use of it, and the reason is that that's because the inputs in Secret are encrypted. So anyone, even validators trying to extract value, looking at the mempool, they can't actually extract anything because they don't see anything. The other application, and I think that's very timely, that I'm very excited about, is Shade Protocol, Silk. How many people know Shade and Silk? Okay, I thought more would know. Shade Protocol and Silk has been making the rounds and the waves as a very interesting kind of a stablecoin. It has many benefits compared to stablecoins. And in my humble opinion, especially with the unfortunate, let's say, vacuum left by UST, I think Shade has a really good opportunity to actually become the Cosmos stablecoin. So some of its benefit compared to others is that it's obviously completely private. They are building a full DeFi solution around it, so it's going to be composed with a lot of protocols from day one. And another interesting aspect is that it's not directly USD pegged. It's pegged to a basket of assets, which right now come to about like $1.05. So one thing to mention about that, Shade was supposed to take a similar model to Luna, but they've been built to UST, but they've been building an over-collateralized model on the side, and yesterday they actually announced that for obvious reasons, moving to that one, which I think is the right call and going to be much more sustainable. I'm going to go over this very quickly. So another thing I'm very excited on Secret are games. And why are games on Secret different than games on other blockchains? I'm going to say something that maybe is a bit offensive. I don't mean to be offensive. But I think the entire gaming economy on blockchains is complete BS. The fact is that games need scale. I think Cosmos to some extent provide that. But games also need privacy. Any PvP game, most PvE games, they have some form of hidden state. right? Like if I play poker, you can't see my hand, I can see your hand. If we can see each other's hand, then it's useless, there's no game. And most games are like that, they require hidden state. And Urban Wars, for example, A, it's a high quality game that's been built for a year, but B, they're making heavy usage of the idea of having hidden state on-chain, not off-chain, for real. And there are really many, many other applications being built on Secret. I think it's over 100 right now. I can't remember all of them. I can't describe all of them, but I'm going to give you a taste, or at least you can know what to look up that I think is interesting. There's Altermail, which is a decentralized encrypted P2P messaging protocol. There's Jackal, which is private decentralized storage. There's Stash, which is one of the largest NFT marketplaces in Cosmos in general, not just on Secret. There's Starshell, which I think we'll hear a lot more about, not just in the context of Secret, but in the context of Cosmos in general. I think Starshell would actually become a real contender about being the wallet for Cosmos. And there are many, many others, more than I can actually mention. Now, how many people here are developers? Cool. So I think this is the most important slide for you guys. Like 4 months ago, we announced together with 25 really top VCs, and you can look them up. It's like the biggest name, a $400 million ecosystem fund to support building our network. We've already started deploying from that fund. The important things to remember about this, I mean, you can take a picture of it, there are the right links, but there are 2 tracks. Track number 1 is for grants. That's kind of like first money in, from 0 to something. That's like up to 50 to 100K, and there's a link here where you can apply for that. The other is, if you're already a more well-established project, if you have something that you've built, then you can go for track 2, which is the ecosystem fund, where we connect you with the VCs in our ecosystems, Secret Labs included, and we try to help you get like serious funding. Okay, now I'm going to move to something completely different. I don't have a lot of time, so I'll glance over it. But Secret Labs has recently been building the LegendDAO platform. Now, LegendDAO is essentially a new kind of NFT minting platform. You can go there and projects can mint their NFTs. Usually the idea is to have blue chip projects, but there is a twist. The platform kind of encourages you to stay and to continue to mint and to continue to do stuff. And why is that? Because you have an avatar. You can see a nice example of it here. And that avatar starts like in any like MMORPG game, level 1, no equipment, no anything. The more you participate in the platform, the more quests you take, the more mints you participate, the more stuff you do, your character starts to level up and you start to get equipment. That equipment and having a stronger and a higher level character give you real benefits in the platform. So first and foremost, you get higher staking rewards. They're non-linear. Second, you get whitelist spots for mints, discounts, and many, many other benefits in the platform. Now, why did we as a core development company even looked into building LegendDAO? Why are we doing it? The reason is secret NFTs. So about a year ago, when we started the development of the secret NFT concept, we basically realized that Secret Network has a real benefit to improve NFTs as a whole. Not just for Secret, not just for Cosmos, but as a whole. The most common joke about NFTs is the right-click save problem. The idea that an NFT is public, so maybe you own the token for the NFT, but I can go grab the link, go to it, and copy the content, whatever it may be. And when I got really convinced that secret NFTs are the right solution and they're much better, was when I met Quentin Tarantino. And he basically told me that all the largest chains came to him and told him, let's do an NFT project, let's do something together. And he told me that he didn't believe in it. He was a bit more abrasive, but that's the gist of it. And when we told him about secret NFTs, the idea that you can actually encrypt the content, if you want, such that only the owner, the collector, can actually see the underlying content, that's when he got excited. He said, that's what I want to do. And that really served as the motivation for us to build LegendDAO, essentially as kind of like a black hole, if you will, an intake platform to bring as many users as we can to be using secret NFTs. And I'm going to finish with this. LegendDAO is going to be launched soon. And the first drop on LegendDAO is going to be with Kevin Smith, another very well-known filmmaker and director. And this is something I'm extremely excited about. The reason is that Kevin is dropping a new movie. He produced a movie, and instead of going to Netflix or to anyone else, we said, okay, let's drop it as an NFT collection such that anyone who buys the NFT, and the NFT would be generative art, it would have a lot of perks, but at the end of the day, it would also give you access to the movie that cannot be copied from the outside. And to me, that's game-changing. And the reason is because I think with this technology, over time, not today, this is experimental, but over time, we'd be able to actually build things like a decentralized Netflix, decentralized Spotify, platforms that connect the artists closer with their audiences, which cannot be done today with intermediaries. And I'm going to really finish with this. This is probably the most important slide. The Kevin Smith drop is going to drop in early July. We actually haven't announced that, so that's a bit of alpha. We'll announce it tomorrow. But we're doing a premiere drop on June 1st. And why would you want to participate in the premiere drop? Because A, you get the actual NFT. So once the actual NFT drops in July, you're going to get it airdropped to you with the movie. B, there's going to be a better price for this. But C, we're doing a really big event around Decentraland consensus. So anyone who's in Austin in June 8th, we're going to hold the first ever Kilroy Wazir premiere. The only way to participate is with this NFT. And there's going to be a really crazy cocktail party in a crazy venue in Austin. And that's going to be with Kevin. He's going to come there, and with the cast, and open for anyone who holds that NFT. Now, one thing to mention, there's a link here. So if you want to participate and get whitelisted, you have to use the link. To be clear, like, people in our community have to go through all kinds of crazy stuff to get in the whitelist. So this is like only going to be open for today or tomorrow, and only for the people in this conference or people who are watching this. And I didn't write the full passcode, but you're going to have to put your secret address and the full passcode, which is Kilroy's secret stash. So that's the point. Kilroy's secret stash, that gets you in the whitelist. So I don't think there's time, but here are my details, the network details, and I'm happy to answer any questions if anyone has them. Thank you.
Thank you, Guy. Yeah, we have a couple of questions for you. The first question is, does Secret Network support the latest version of CosmWasm?
Not yet. So we are working very hard on it. Mainnet for CosmWasm v1 is expected in about 3 months. Testnet much sooner, probably 1 to 2 months.
And another question is, could Celestia integrate with Secret?
That's something that I would love the answer to. So we're looking into this. I do think that Cosmos would need rollups, and we are very interested in that. So it's a good question.
Then, is there a risk of a fallout if an exploit is found in SGX that cause all past secret transactions to be leaked?
So there's always some risk. I think that risk is blown out of proportions and very unlikely. There are mitigations that we are working out, even at this catastrophic event, which are things around forward secrecy and better and more fine-grained key sharing, different key sharings to kind of limit the exposure. But I gotta say one thing. My background is in cryptography. I very much believe in cryptographic solutions. Secret started with the idea of going with the pure cryptographic solutions. that would be a million times slower. It's not sustainable today. No developer in this room would use a platform like that. So we made a decision of using the one technology that works, and we've done a lot. Like, we're not sharing that, but if you look at our code, we've done everything possible to mitigate any risks and any fallouts from secure hardware. And we'll continue to do so until the day things like MPC or fully homomorphic encryption are ready for prime time. And when that happens, we'll be the first to implement that.
Then the next question is, what's your plan to attract more liquidity and builders on Secret?
Oh, so 400 million ecosystem fund, and just people who believe in the narrative and the ecosystem. And in terms of liquidity, I think Secret is in DeFi winter right now, because there has been a long time, there's been a long period of time where there were no new DeFi products, but with Hydro Finance and with Shade and with a few other DeFi projects, I think liquidity is going to come very, very fast.
Finally, does Secret still plan to launching open?
Interesting question. So actually, we changed the plan a little bit. So for people who don't know, the idea with open was that we will have another chain side by side that runs, just in the clear, just like pure vanilla CosmWasm. We've taken this to our community. We thought about this a lot, and we don't think it's the right direction. So Secret actually, I didn't touch it on the talk, but within 6 months, Secret will probably be one of, if not the fastest chain, even with its privacy properties, in the Cosmos stack. So there's no reason to kind of like force anything right now. We're just doubling down on building that and going to deliver that within 6 months. And with that in mind, we just didn't really see the reason to do it.
Guys, Zyskind.